Why are we even working with Democrats here?
Listen, it is crazy. We are seeing a radical leftist Democratic majority of Biden, Schumer, and Pelosi, and they are ramming through the most extreme agenda we've ever seen in Washington. They're spending trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars. They want to spend $7 trillion this year alone. They want to raise taxes by trillions of dollars. Every tax you can think of, they want to go up, whether it's income taxes or corporate taxes or capital gains taxes or death taxes, all of them they want to go up. And when it comes to spending trillions is what is driving inflation. We're seeing an inflation bomb growing across our economy. Americans across the economy are seeing the price of food go up, are seeing the price of gasoline go up, are seeing lumber go up, are seeing houses go up. And the Democrats are just pouring gasoline onto the fire with trillions more in spending. And I think you're exactly right. Republicans ought to say, we're not going to have any part of that. No, we're not going to participate in this spending orgy that is hurting working families across this country and that is hurting seniors across this country.
So I look at the usual suspects there in the Senate, your co-workers, Mitt Romney's, and we know who they all are. I feel like they're getting played through all of this. How can you, the Mike Lees, the Johnsons of the Senate, push back and say, no, this reconciliation, by the way, Senator, really scares me what they want to do here?
Yes. Well, look, you're exactly right. I can tell you that Mike Lee, Ron Johnson, and I, we are pushing back hard. Every day the Senate Republicans have lunch together, and we are having vigorous discussions, sometimes yelling matches back and forth, with most of the Republicans saying, what in the hell are you doing? Why are you participating in these radical excesses from the Democrats? There's some Republicans that just very much want to make a deal. I think that's a mistake. And I'll tell you, you've highlighted one of the really dangerous aspects is that they abuse the reconciliation rules to push through the rest of their radical agenda. Amnesty, you mentioned amnesty. I am very concerned that we're going to see Democrats try to push amnesty through reconciliation. And the way they do this is they'd add an amnesty provision to the bill, and then if all 50 Democrats voted together, they could essentially break the rules and push through an amnesty bill. And the only thing that stands in the way of that is right now there are two Democrats who are saying they won't end the filibuster, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. We need one or both of them to hold the line. I hope that they do. I pray that they do. I don't know that they will. If all the Democrats team up together, basically blowing up the reconciliation rules is a backdoor way to end the filibuster and to enable them to pass their radical agenda that includes amnesty, that includes statehood for D.C. and Puerto Rico, that includes the Corrupt Politicians Act, and that includes packing the U.S. Supreme Court. All of that is what they want to do by getting rid of the filibuster.
All right, let me play a clip from you from Secretary Mayorkas. I believe this is you questioning him, and it gets to the heart of this. What are they doing with immigration question? Let's roll the clip from Secretary Mayorkas.
The decision with respect to the border wall was not a political decision, but a substantive one. That the $15 billion that was dedicated to construction of the border wall was ill-advised, and we can use the government's funds and taxpayers' funds more wisely through investment in innovation, through investment in technology. That is the greatest force multiplier.
All right. So, Senator, we got a border wall is 80 to 90% complete. They stop it. We've got technology that could have been used with cameras, sensors, you name it. They want to reduce the budget for that. It's already paid for. They're not putting it in. They want these people coming here, don't they, ultimately for this amnesty, I guess?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And what Secretary Mayorkas just said there, that is either willfully ignorant or deliberately dishonest, because what he's saying there is nonsense. I spend a lot of time down at the border representing Texas. We've got 1,200 miles of our southern border along Texas, and I spend a lot of time with Border Patrol agents, with the men and women on the front lines, and all of them tell you that physical infrastructure, that a wall plays an important part in stopping illegal immigration. And I got to tell you, this crisis at the southern border Joe Biden and Kamala Harris created it. They created it with 3 decisions. First, the first week in office, they halted construction of the border wall. That was an enormous mistake. Secondly, they returned to the failed policy of catch and release, releasing the illegal immigrants who get apprehended. That was an enormous mistake. And third, the most indefensible decision, they ended the incredibly successful Remain in Mexico international agreement. That's the agreement President Trump negotiated with Mexico that said anyone who crosses illegally from another country into Mexico will remain in Mexico while their asylum case is proceeding here. And that agreement worked, Grant. We saw last year the lowest illegal immigration in 45 years. It was an incredible success. What did Joe Biden do? Ripped it to pieces his first week in office, and we are now seeing the highest rate of illegal immigration in 21 years. It is a crisis. We're on pace for 2 million people coming to this country illegally, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris caused this humanitarian and public health disaster.
Senator Ted Cruz, I appreciate you coming on the program. Don't be a stranger.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Grant.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.